Bill O'Reilly here. You are listening to the O'Reilly Update. Coming up next, the news with Mike Slater.
Thank you, Bill. It is Wednesday, June 7th, 2023. Here's what's happening today in America. The Saudis now own golf. Judge strikes down Florida bill. New York City has the worst air pollution in the world right now. And California is not a sanctuary state anymore, I guess. That's all coming up. Then Bill will be here with your message of the day. But first, the PGA Tour has merged with the new Saudi-backed LIV Golf. This is a shock to almost everyone because the PGA Tour has been vocal about how LIV isn't just bad, but immoral, paid for by Saudi blood and oil money. And now they're merging. Wesley Bryan says, I feel betrayed. Will not be able to trust anyone within the corporate structure of the PGA Tour for a long time. Mackenzie Hughes, nothing like finding out through Twitter that we're merging with a tour that we said we'd never do that with. Worth noting that Donald Trump, 1 year ago, said all those golfers who remain loyal to the very disloyal PGA, they will pay a big price when the inevitable merger with LIV comes. And you get nothing but a big thank you from the PGA officials who are making millions of dollars a year. If you don't take the money now, you will get nothing after this merger takes place, and only say how smart the original signees were. He was exactly right. Florida passed a bill banning puberty blockers and cross-sex hormones for minors, which is insane that we would ever even need a bill like that in the first place. Just lightning fast speed to get us to where we are now out of nowhere. But a federal judge struck it down, saying gender identity is real. He also said that even though this puberty blocker received a warning from the FDA, which said that this drug could cause brain swelling, loss of vision, and symptoms similar to a brain tumor in children, the judge said, quote, there are risks attendant to not using these treatments, including the risk of anxiety and depression and even suicidal ideation. New York City's air pollution is among the worst in the world right now, but I want to emphasize right now, it's not because of anything in New York City. There's some bad wildfires in Quebec. New York City is right up there now with the air quality of India, Indonesia, and Bangladesh. 10 school districts in central New York canceled outdoor events for their school because the air quality is so bad from the wildfires. And finally, the state of Florida has confirmed that they were behind flying 32 migrants into Sacramento, California last week. But the Florida Division of Emergency Management said through verbal and written consent, these volunteers indicated they wanted to go to California. And they provided a video. On one video, one of the guys said, we made it to California, thank God, very thankful to God. And Sacramento is a sanctuary city in a sanctuary state. So what's the problem, Newsom? I'm Mike Slater from the podcast Politics by Faith. Bill will be here with your message of the day. Next.
The chairman of the Fed is promising more pain ahead. Last year, stocks dropped 20%, and this year could be worse. You are right to be worried. So please call the only precious metal dealer I trust, American Hartford Gold. They'll show you how to protect your savings and retirement accounts by diversifying your portfolio with physical gold and silver. Since I have been a client and spokesperson, the price of gold has appreciated more than 35%. So please call today and they'll have physical gold and silver delivered right to your door or put inside your IRA or 401k. Tell them Bill O'Reilly sent you, and they will give you up to $5,000 of free silver on your first order. Please call 877-444-GOLD, 877-444-GOLD, or text GOLD GOLD to 65532. Again, 877-444-GOLD, or text GOLD to 65532. Time now for the O'Reilly Update message of the day. On this Wednesday, veteran conservative columnist Cal Thomas is scorching Donald Trump in a new article, saying the former president's continued political odyssey will destroy the Republican Party as well as the right wing in America. Mr. Thomas quotes a variety of conservative pundits who believe the same thing. Now, I've known Cal Thomas for decades, and he is an honest analyst entitled to espouse whatever he wants. He writes that he did vote for Trump because he considered the alternatives worse, but is now off the Trump train for good because of the former president's polarizing personality. So my question for Cal is this: would you really pull the lever or lick the envelope for Joe Biden if he's Trump's opponent in 2024? That would be very destructive for traditional America, which Mr. Biden apparently disdains. Yes, Donald Trump is not a doctrinaire conservative. He has no interest in political philosophy. He's a deal maker and governed that way. And in my opinion, was far more successful in creating American prosperity than Joe Biden has been. There are two immediate dangers to conservatives. First, the woke culture is on the march, and if you oppose it, as most conservatives do, you are evil and should be punished. The second is that Biden is weak, and America's standing in the world is weakening. That puts the country in peril. So, whether you like Trump or not, that's the situation. I'm Bill O'Reilly. I approve the message by writing it. You can reach me, Bill at BillO'Reilly.com, Bill at BillO'Reilly.com, name and town if you wish to opine. All right, here is the mail. We go to David. Bill, I completely agree with your warning that we shouldn't convict President Biden without knowing all the facts. The three-ring circus of the Trump-Russia collusion fraud is a perfect example of why we shouldn't get ahead of ourselves. Okay, we want our viewers and listeners on the radio to be fair, and most of them are. Laura, thank you for defending Biden's unfortunate trip over the sandbag. Could have happened to anyone. Easier for him, however, because he's a constant state of bumbling. It is true he is a diminished man. There's no question about that. Robert, the rule of law has been destroyed by the FBI and the current Justice Department. The mass media will protect Joe Biden and corruption until our country is totally destroyed. Unfortunately, that's true. Let's hope in 24 we can reverse this insanity. John Coletto, thanks for reminding us that Eric Holder was held in contempt of Congress. My question, in 2025, could a Republican administration prosecute Christopher Wray? No. He has indemnification, prosecutorial discretion. Bill Forrest, Woodbridge, Virginia. I saw a delusional James Comey on TV the other day. He praised Biden and how the government should be honest and fight corruption. Look, Comey, everyone knows who's fair-minded what Comey is. I think it's MSNBC has hired him. I don't know. It's insane, but we all know. Bill Frazier, Locust Grove. I grew up on Long Island, too, and was a water safety instructor for the town of Babylon in the early 70s. We just missed each other, Bill. I enjoy the No Spin News, but my mother loves you. She is 93 and was a water safety instructor herself. Can you give her a shout out? Natalie Frazier. Good for you, Natalie, and your son is a good guy. So you're a great mom. That goes together. Natalie was a water safety instructor, and she's 93. God bless you. In a moment, something you might not know.
Ad paid for by OpenShare Concepts. Attention firefighters, members of the military, and airport workers. For decades, first responders and firefighters at military bases and airports used a chemical-based foam to fight fires. Studies have shown that chemicals used to make aqueous film-forming foam, or AFFF, are highly toxic to humans and have been associated with several types of cancer. If you or someone you know was exposed to AFFF and were diagnosed with any of these cancers, including kidney, bladder, prostate, pancreatic, lymphoma, leukemia, testicular, and neuroendocrine, then you should call us immediately because you may be entitled to significant cash compensation. Call us at 800-494-8560. Our experienced attorneys will fight to get you the compensation you deserve, and you pay nothing unless we get a recovery in your favor. Time is limited to file a claim, so call us now, 800-494-8560. Operators are standing by 24/7, so don't wait. 800-494-8560. That's 800-494-8560. Again, 800-494-8560.
Now the O'Reilly Update brings you something you might not know. 254 years ago today, an American pioneer began exploring a vast wilderness known to the Indians as Kentucky, or Land of Tomorrow. We know it as Kentucky. Here's the story of Daniel Boone. Born November 2nd, 1734 in Pennsylvania. Young Daniel spent his youth hunting and trapping on the North Carolina frontier. By his 30th birthday, Boone began venturing deep into the Appalachian Mountains, a region considered dangerous to white settlers. On June 7th, 1769, Daniel Boone entered present-day Kentucky. He wrote in his diary, quote, "I entered the valley and looked around with astonishing delight at the ample plains and beautiful tracts below. This is by far the most favored place on God's earth, unquote. Years later, during the American Revolution, Boone and his crew began construction of the Cumberland Gap Trail, the first permanent settlements in Kentucky. During one expedition, the explorers group was attacked by Cherokee Indians. 2 people were captured, tortured, and murdered, including Daniel Boone's 16-year-old son, James. For the next decade, the pioneer continued his journey into the wilderness. His exploits gained national attention. He soon appeared in stories and other folktales. One writer in North Carolina claimed Boone killed a dozen grizzly bears with his fists. Although a brave man and respected leader, Daniel Boone never really capitalized on his adventures. An explorer to the end, Boone died in Missouri, 1820, at the age of 86. And here's something else you might not know. Today is officially known as Boone's Day across Kentucky. On June 7th, people in the bluegrass state celebrate the pioneer with parades, coonskin hats, and his favorite meal, honey fried chicken. The biggest parade can be found in the town of Boonesboro, the oldest English-speaking city in the Appalachian Mountains. Back after this. If you own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles and have an auto warranty about to expire or have no warranty at all, listen up. Car Shield has a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that's now available to the public. Save on out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. So please call Car Shield now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. 800-925-7584 for a free quote. This protection plan is at an all-time low in price. Drivers who activate the vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. So please call for your free quote, 800-925-7584, 800-925-7584. Hey, what do you have to lose? 800-925-7584. Thank you for listening to the O'Reilly Update. I am Bill O'Reilly. No spin, just facts, and always looking out for you.